guys, before we get into the video, if you do enjoy this video, please subscribe. It means so much to me. Starting off in the game, we played well. The lineup itself wasn't really too happy with. I thought it wasn't really going to be the best solution, but start of the game, it did look like it was perfect solution. We played very well and we got the goal straight away. And Burke this season has relentlessly pressed the keepers when they're on the ball, and it proved in this game why he should do that. He looked our best player, in the first half, to be honest, and he just kept on pressing, and after 5 minutes, he finally proved why he should do it, and we got a goal from it. I actually thought in the first place it was going to be cancelled out because of a handball or something when he was on the floor, but luckily nothing touched his hands and passed it straight to McGoldrick, who actually had a bit of pressure on him when he took the chance because he had Henderson closing him down, but composed it very calmly, and we were 1-0 up. Now, I think, sadly, to be honest, when that goal went in, I wasn't really celebrating that much because I kind of knew what was on the horizon. Might be a bit negative, but I think I've kind of got my reasons for that when you see how we've done this season. I think, when you see Man United's record, and I remember the game against West Ham where they were 1-0 down, but you always knew in the back of their mind they were coming back into it. The difference was we didn't really have any chances that we could have taken to put the game out of sight. We had one with Fleck where he really should have done better, to be honest. I think he should have gone across Henderson. Henderson had gone towards the right of his goal, and there was a massive space to his left that if he'd got shot across and gone for it, there would have probably been a 90% chance of it going in. But before that, Berg got injured and Basham filled in at centre mid, and he looked quite good. He looked quite solid, to be fair. I think in the past he's done that in the Championship and against Wednesday and Leeds, and obviously we got 2 great results when he did that. So I thought he'd do well there. He did fill the void nicely, and I guess maybe he'll be playing there in our game against Brighton next. But like I said, Fleck missed that chance, and after he missed it, they scored soon after. Very, very sloppy from us to have such a solid defence last season. I know a massive part of that solid defence is out for most of the season now in O'Connell, but nonetheless, the standard shouldn't slip that much. And for someone like Jagielka, he's not the quickest, of course, and at 38, he's definitely not going to be in his prime, but, you still got the defensive awareness, that sort of thing never really fades, and it was very disappointing that he just couldn't mark Rashford. I did think it might be offside, and that's why I didn't really get too fussed about it at first, but when you see the replay, he was massively on and took it very well, and a great finish in the end, to be fair. Then another through ball from Pogba, who actually thought was their best player of the game, which probably says it all, in that a player doesn't really want to play with them anymore, is their best player, in that they didn't really have to get in second gear in the whole game, which I think was a bit of a problem, and it's probably overlooked in our performance, and maybe something we really got to look at, because if they don't even have to try that hard and get the win, like we've seen with a few games this season, then it's a bit of a concern for us, to be honest. But then Martial got the goal as well, and I think Ramsdale could have done better with it, to be honest. I mean, the ball bounced just in front of him and he could have held on to it, but it just didn't get to him in time, and Martial got past him and it was an open goal and slotted away calmly. So we went into half-time 2-1 down, which was a big concern because Man United, with the pace they have, and the system they now have away from home, which has worked a treat, which is just counter-attack, it worked perfectly for them, and we played right into their hands because we had to chase the game. We had to try and get something from it, and in doing that, it left us exposed at the back massively. When we were defending, we looked like we were a man down because there was just that much space at the back, and interestingly enough, they didn't really make much of that, to be fair, in the game. However, they did still score 3 goals. And that third goal was very poor as well. I mean, from the whole team. Ramsdale should have done better, of course, but I don't think you can really blame him for today because it was more than him that let us down. Going into the game towards the end, we made a few subs. I think that's really how we've got to line up for the rest of the season, or at least in the near few games, because I don't really see how this formation is working. I've said it numerous times now. I sound like a broken record. I know nothing's really going to change because if it hasn't changed this season already, how is it going to change anytime soon? But you've seen the difference it made when we had Brewster and Mousset up front with McGoldrick behind. I don't see how we can't keep trying to do that, especially now that Berg's out. We've got one less midfielder, so it might just be a question of not having any other choice but to do that. And I think just playing with a bit more attacking freedom's got to be a bit more positive nonetheless. We did lose today, but at least it was better than seeing us lose 1-0. We're not going forward at all, which in fairness we didn't actually do for much of the game anyway until the start of the game and the end of it. Like I've just said, we did push them back towards the end of the game, which was nice to see. It's been a very rare sight a lot this season, so to actually see them sweat their brow a bit was a nice sight. It showed that we could have got something from the game, but we obviously didn't. Now it's the first time this season as well we've actually scored 2 goals in the game, so that's another minor positive to take. It's a step in the right direction, I guess. As Man United's performance, it's hard what to make of it because, to be honest, I didn't really have to try that hard and didn't really have to do too much. It was just long balls over the top all day, which was enough to break us down. But, I think they look pretty well organised, and, people slag off a lot of their big players, but, when the times come, they do perform. Pogba, who obviously wants out, looked pretty good today. I think he was probably their best player, and people like Maguire didn't really have to do too much, and Rashford, when he had his chance, took it. So it's hard what to make of it. I think going forward into the season, I'm usually quite an optimistic person, and I think tonight I'd gain some of that back. Against Brighton, I think if we start how we finished today, then we could easily get a point. But we're going to have to do that, because if we start the same formation, the same lineup as we started, then I'm really not holding my breath, and it could be another painful one. Not saying humiliation, but I could see another defeat on the horizon if we were doing that. But this has been my reaction to it. Let me know in the comments what you think, guys. And if you did enjoy this, then please subscribe. It means a lot, especially after having to see defeats after defeats. It helped me feel a bit better about the situation. So until next time, guys, take it easy.